Oh, look who it is, my favorite little patient. I'm glad you scheduled an appointment today, but I gotta ask you, are you flossing? Have you been flossing?
I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, well, ever since I appointed Stacy the mayor of LumberJillville, I've been searching for a new job here to see where I fit in. And since today's figure review is of Britt Baker, DMD, and her Supreme Edition figure, I figured, I don't know, maybe I could be the town dentist.
Well, truth being told, I never actually resigned, so I'm still co-mayor. I just lied. Why don't you just take the mayorship back from Stacy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I threw away my mayor badge in the garbage. I had a whole ceremony and appointed Stacy. Plus, she's so sweet. And she kind of saved LumberJillville. So honestly, I just need to find something else I'm good at. Something I'm as good at as I was being mayor.
Whoever said you were good at being a mayor?
Hey, that's not very nice. But shush up. It's time to open wide. And let's see what I'm made of.
To be honest, I don't know if I trust you enough with those tools.
Now, listen, Co-Mayor Alexa, we have been down since day one-ish in LumberJillville. If there's anyone you can trust here, it's definitely me.
But remember last time you tried to be a dentist? Boo.
Yeah, but listen, you startled me, okay? And I'm sure if I focus, I can do a good job, right? I think, maybe?
You want to go get the Play-Doh so you can practice more.
I mean, I think I'm good. What do you think? Yeah, okay, let's go get the Play-Doh. Come on. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. And welcome to today's first of a kind review here in LumberJillville. What I mean by that is this is the very first series of the AEW Unrivaled Supreme Collection. And right beside me, I have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. So it's the first female to be included in kind of AEW and Jazzware's answer to the Ultimate line that Mattel and WWE produce. So these are obviously a higher price point figure and come with tons and tons of accessories. And the articulation is better. So there's definitely a lot to unpack. Today's video is going to be a different format. Usually I break it down piece by piece, but this one's going to be mostly an unboxing, up-close review. And then I actually ordered two because I wanted to show y'all a couple different looks that you could put her in just with all the accessories included that I liked. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at this figure, starting with this amazing packaging. Alright, so let's talk about this beautiful packaging. Wow. I mean, I'm blown away. I have nothing like this in my collection. And this could be a centerpiece to my women's wrestling figure collection. That's how much it stands out. And it is so unique. It's very similar to that ringside exclusive Cody Rhodes, but I obviously don't have that. So this is the first of its kind in my collection. And obviously this being the very first series of the Unrivaled Supreme Collection, it's the first female we're getting in this line. So I can't wait to see what females they release in the future. But yeah, this packaging is mind-blowing. Even looking at it right now, it's making me realize rather quickly that I need to jump online and order a third to keep MOC. Because the two Supreme Brits that I have today, I'm going to open them both. And that way I can mix up the parts and give two predominant looks and put them side by side and kind of let you compare and contrast between the two. But also I'm going to display two of these Supremes on my Brit shelf that I just made here. So I definitely need a third to keep MOC. So looking at this packaging here, we have the Unrivaled Supreme Collection in gold at the top. And if you look at the bottom here, we have Dr. Britt Baker. It's in a gold line with a little silver and black. We have Pittsburgh Steelers themed, colors and look down there, which is definitely great. We have this real big, nice open window bubble that wraps all the way around to the side. And on the sides here, we have all the accessories. So the extra heads, extra hands, microphones, soft goods, the extra part pieces, and even that lower body part. It's all tucked away in the side, so it's not an eyesore to look at this figure straight on. And I love that because I've always been that way. The treasure is the same way. even with elites and AEW women's figures, wrestling figures in general, whenever there's extra heads or hands or arms, whatever included in the packaging, it takes away from the MOC appeal, right? I think it doesn't look as good MOC, but this looks fan-frickin-tastic. And not just because those parts are tucked in the side, but if you look inside, we have like a nice little diorama or some type of display that we'll get a closer look at when we open this up. So I'm real curious to see that. But with that being said, let's slice this baby open and let's do a little unboxing here. So yeah, today's review is definitely going to be different style format because there's just a lot of different options with this figure as far as display goes and everything else. So yeah, we are going to unbox it, and then we'll take a closer look at the pieces. So there's tape on the sides here, and these little plastic flaps. And we are going to see... Did I even cut that? We are going to see... Okay, so I got one plastic flap, two plastic flaps, and then it looks like there's a corner up there. I know, people watching are probably like, what is wrong with this guy? Because I have no idea how to open this thing. I have no idea. Okay, okay. So then in this corner, there's a piece of tape. This is the most like unprofessional unboxing video because I'm just going at it here. I'm just going at it. So now that those are cut, let's kind of move this back a little bit. Now those are cut. Okay. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do, guys. Okay. Here's my, this is how Mayor Aaron unboxes, okay? Don't hate me. I'm going to keep it out of the package. Okay, let's just rip that baby off, all right? Oh my gosh, okay, all right. So I know there's a better way to open it. I get it. Don't hate me. So you pinch off the side, and we have like one little compartment pod there. And on the other side, we have another little compartment pod there. And then... let's move this back a little bit. Would you look at that? So we slide this out, and we do have a diorama display there. Kinda. I mean, I kind of wrecked it. I'll be careful with my next one when I take it out. But yeah, it's like a little display background there. I wonder if you could just take... Okay, so it looks like it might be perforated a little bit, so you can take the plastic off and have like a little display stand. So that's great. I think that's definitely nice. But if you're going to open it up, I don't really see the purpose in having that background there. So let's get that out of the way. And that's the figure. Wow. Okay. So it does have this little cardboard piece going around. Now, is there anything keeping her in? I don't think so. All right. So I'm going to get out all these accessories. I'm going to get out the Britt, and we are going to regroup. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to show you the back of the package here because I forgot to in the previous segment there. I got a little excited. So here on the back of the package, we have a nice large image of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and it covers the entirety of the back of the box. And it is beautiful. It's awesome how they did that. It's really breathtaking. And then we have a little faux auto there. And then we have the Supreme Collection logo. And then we have this date. And that date's wrong. Okay, it drives me nuts. I looked this up online, so this attire that she's wearing in this picture, this photo is actually from a Rampage where she faced Red Velvet and retained her women's championship, and it was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, her hometown, which is why she's wearing Pittsburgh Steeler-inspired attire, right? So this Dynamite Grand Slam episode, I think she faced Ruby Soho, and she didn't wear this. So it's annoying. It's annoying when they get those dates wrong because it was such a good idea and concept to put the date on the package, what the attire's from. But they've missed quite a few times on the female. So at this point, just don't put the date. If they're not going to do the proper research and they're not going to have it be accurate, then why even put it on there, right? So they just need to take those off because they've missed quite a few times. And this being such an iconic look for her, an iconic moment, and they don't even have the date right, that's so dumb in my opinion. So definitely a swing and a miss there. But I do like the large image of Britt on the back. So, all right, let's move on. All right, so after I have everything out of the package, all in front of me, boy, it is overwhelming. And that's why I said today's going to be a different style review than what I usually do, because there's just a lot to talk about here, and I wanted to kind of have an open, fluid video here instead of breaking it down piece by piece. So first off, let's look at some of these accessories and some of the things that were packaged with this figure before we take a closer look at the figure itself, okay? So to start off, this AEW World Women's Championship is beautiful. It is by far the best title belt that we have gotten as far as the women's figures go in the AEW line. You know, if we compare it to that first title there as a little dingleberry belt, see you later. And then the most recent one, the AEW Unrivaled Series 10 Britt Baker that I just reviewed, came with this one that I said was a little too big, and it is. And as you can see here, this one that we're getting with the Supreme figure is the perfect size. Now, they have had, 3 different looks for this AEW Women's Championship. And I believe this simulates the second look, and it does it perfectly. I mean, it's beautiful. It definitely has the detail there, and the size is perfect. And yeah, it's the best title that we've gotten for the women's figures here in the AEW line. All right, so we are going to look at these accessories here when I cover that look. So we're going to put that to the side. And let's take a look at the heads here. Okay, that came packaged. We'll look at the head that's on here in a minute here. So we have this kind of smiling scanned Brit. And then we have this serious scan Brit head that were packaged. And I have to be honest here, I'm not a huge fan of this scan and this sculpt. I actually think that the Unrivaled one is better. And it is a little different. And we'll do that when I compare the Unrivaled 10 figure with this. But to get 3 heads in the package, and I mean, all 3 of them aren't that drastically different. I don't understand why we got all these. So that's kind of dumb to me. But that's neither here or there. So we also get this AEW microphone, which is great. It's great to pair this with her promo attire over here, which is what this look kind of is. However, she doesn't come with a freaking hand that holds the mic, okay? So she comes with 2 closed fists. She comes with the DMD pointer finger down, and then she comes with her lockjaw hand, which I guess that could be like a mic holding hand. But that's just kind of weird, right? I mean, this is her finishing move hand here. And yes, I know you can, in these flat open palms here, you can kind of slide in the mic and hold it like that, but it looks weird. It looks like when Barbie's holding something. So yeah, that to me is kind of a big miss. And I mean, I wouldn't be so hard on it, but the price point of these things is high. And they include so much to it that you think they wouldn't cut corners here. And I mean, for example, that left flat hand is the exact same as this hand. So like, we got a couple hands that are the exact same. When we could use an open hand to hold the mic, we don't have a mic holding hand unless you put the glove hand or slide it in that. And that's weird. Okay, that's weird. So we have that. And like I just showed you those hands there. And then we have this soft goods t-shirt. Now this soft goods t-shirt, I'll be honest, the quality of this thing is pretty amazing. It's definitely good quality. It feels sturdy and everything. However, Britt, when she does wear shirts, they tend to be a little tighter, a little smaller, and not exactly this cut. So I just wanted to slide this on her and see how it looks. I will not be displaying her with this shirt, just like the Blood and Guts figure. I just don't think it's something that she would really wear. And I know some people are probably going to put her in this shirt with the promo lower half here. But I have a different idea there. So let's slide this on and see how snug it fits her. I hope it fits her snug. Not really. No. Alright. So yeah. I mean, the t-shirt, Britsburg, we got a t-shirt there. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, it's cool that we get soft goods, but yeah, just like the Blood and Guts pack, I thought the soft goods was kind of a waste. I mean, yeah, not a huge fan there. I mean, the shirt's cool and all, but she doesn't really wear her shirts like this, and I couldn't find an image where she actually wore this shirt. You know, a lot of times in her promo pants, she'd wear a tight shirt or a shirt under her vest, you know, but this shirt's too big to put underneath her jacket accessory there, so I will not be displaying her with that shirt, and it's kind of a wasted accessory in my opinion. I hate to be harsh, but it is. So, alright. So, after we looked at all those things, let's take a little breather here, and then we're going to cover articulation. Alright, so before I cover articulation, I want to show you something that kind of aggravates me, right? And it's with all these AEW women's figures. So I was going to swap the head because the head that I had on her, the neck looked really long. So I'm going to put the smiling scan on. Now, the heads are meant to be swappable. You know, they have a little peg hole there. And we have this ball joint that goes right into there. However, this ball joint on all the AEW women's figures is on like this hinge type joint. And that's very frustrating because when you put the head, you try to put it on, that it ends up flexing down and then it doesn't go on. So it's definitely tricky to wrestle with, and it's really annoying. But yeah, I'm actually going to put this head on off camera, and then we're going to go back to articulation because I'm frustrated. Yeah, be right back. All right, so now let's cover articulation before we take a closer look at the figure itself and also show you the different looks. And it's solidified here, so even by swapping heads, it doesn't help. That neck looks goofy. It looks super, super long on any head that you put on there. Now, as far as the head range of motion goes, we can look down really well, and we can almost like forward look down, I guess, because it's on that hinge. She can look right good, she can look left good, and she can look up okay. Now, obviously, the big feature here that I was really impressed by and shocked to see is this butterfly joint incorporated here into the sculpt. And that's something we haven't gotten in a women's figure in the Ultimate line yet. So to have that in a women's figure is awesome. We have a lot of range of motion there. And we, of course, have the arm on a ball joint beyond that butterfly motion there. We have double jointed elbows. The wrist can circle there. It can also extend and flex. She has the upper torso swivel. She can't really do any side bending, but she can extend back pretty good, and she can ab crunch pretty darn good. Her waist can swivel. Her hip is on a ball joint, can go in all different directions. She has an upper thigh swivel. That knee is double jointed for maximum flexion. She has a boot swivel there. Her ankle can plantar flex, dorsiflex, and also we have a little toe joint here, and this toe joint actually feels a lot more stable than a lot of the Mattels. But you know, the main selling point of this figure is the butterfly joint. You know, we haven't seen that in a female figure as far as I know, so it's definitely cool to have that here with the Britt, and the range of motion is just, it's superb on this figure. AEW Unrivaled Supreme Collection Series 1 Dr. Britt Baker. This attire is from the August 13th, 2021 edition of AEW Rampage, where Britt would defeat Red Velvet to retain the AEW World Women's Championship in her hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Alright, so starting off the face scan and face sculpt. Now, I did do a head switch here at the beginning, but this is one of the 3 heads that she comes with. It's a smiling scan. And then the other 2 heads are very, very similar. One is a little bit of a smirk, and the other one is a serious look. I mean, they're pretty much the same, to be honest. This one's a little more arrogant, I guess, look to it. But either way, I'm really not a huge fan of these scans and sculpts. And even the smiling one here looks a little goofy to me. It really doesn't look like Britt, in my opinion. Even looking at it in person, I'm not really blown away by it. I think it's kind of silly. I actually think the Unrivaled 10 scan is way better than this. So that's a little disappointing. And also the hair is a little bizarre here. So we definitely have her signature high ponytail, but we have these curls which are molded in, and that's nice. But some of the curls, they look like they were molded. Like when this thing was molded, the hair sculpt was molded, it's like someone picked it up and put their hand or their thumb on it and smashed it down, right? It's weird. Even the hair on these other ones is the same way. It's like we get these curls coming down. It looks great. And then on the front, it's like smashed curls. Like someone smashed them there. It's weird. So yeah, not too crazy about the head. I mean, I like that high signature ponytail look, but I don't know. It just definitely falls short for me. Alright, so moving on down to the body sculpt and the attire. I think the body sculpt itself is fine. Very similar to that Unrivaled 10. We have that muscular midsection here. The skin tone is tan. Could probably be a little tanner, but it definitely works here. And yeah, the attire itself really does pop and stand out. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers inspired attire here. And if we take a closer look at the top, you will see that there's a lot of sculpting here with that top. Even the straps are sculpted. We have nice gold and black detailing paint that goes around the trim of that top all the way around the back. We have a little Pittsburgh-inspired logo there with tiny little teeth and red, yellow, and blue. And on the front, we have the Britt Baker logo in gold and also the teeth in yellow, red, and blue, although mine's kind of printed on there wonky. And then we have the little diamonds there. And there's like little smudges also. And I looked at my other one too, and it has different smudges. Like, I don't know if they didn't put enough white paint coats on here or what, but it's bizarre. It almost looks like like if I was customizing a Brit and was trying to make this gear, that's kind of what it looks like. Like they just painted over a darker base color and didn't use enough white paint there. It doesn't look that good in my opinion. Now moving on to the bottoms here. These are definitely better. We have a lot of detailing here with the black and gold trim, the white base color, and we have the Pittsburgh skyline there, which is very cool. And then we have Britsburg on the behind there. And yeah, we did get that enhanced backside there that she had on her Unrivaled 10 that they're starting to give, the women some features and characters in their figure, so that's cool. And then we have the Britt Baker logo on the side, the diamonds there. Definitely a lot of intricate paint. Moving on down to these little thigh sleeves here, we do have that golden snake pattern that goes all the way around with black trim. And the rest is all white here. We have DMD on the left boot and DMD on the right. Now on her right hand, you'll notice this kind of brace type thing. So she did have a broken wrist at the time. And I believe it was in this match she had the cast. She had a black cast actually ripped off and then a sleeve ripped off. Or I think it was a cast and a glove and then she had this underneath. So it would have been cool to get a cast accessory to go on top of this. Because this is just like the tape that she had around her wrist and hand that night. But she did have a brace to start the match. So that would have been a cool accessory to include. So yeah, the attire definitely looks good, but I'm a little disappointed with the quality of the top. I feel like the paint application there isn't as clean as it should be, and it's like this on both of my Brits. Alright, so I got my two Brits here, and now I'm going to put them in. They're two different looks that I'm going to go for as far as displaying them both on my Brit shelf here, using the parts that came with the Supreme figure in itself. So the first one I'm going to do here is I'm going with the look that she had when she came out in her entrance in Pittsburgh in that photo on the back of the package here. And to do that, we're going to remove the arms. And I actually removed this one beforehand because this was like stuck in her. It was not easy to get that arm out. That one comes out easy enough, okay? Then we're going to slide on this jacket top there. And then we're going to pop on a jacket arm there. Good. And then we're going to pop on a jacket arm over here. Good. And actually, what I kind of wanted to do here also. So yeah, let's fasten that up. And then what we can do is put the title around her waist. Okay. Good, so we have that. And actually, I believe on this night she actually had a cast. So if we take that hand out and we take that and put it there. Okay, that's a nice looking Brit. That's pretty darn close to the back of the package there, so that's pretty good. Alright, so the second look I'm going with here, and I hope I don't have as much trouble with the arms, because let me tell you, I was getting angry trying to take the arms out of this one, where I had to refilm it a bunch. Alright, so this Brit, we're going to completely change the lower torso, though, and give her like a promo attire look. Alright, so once again, wish me luck. The arms are coming out. Yep, okay, her head just came right off, so there's that. That arm came out fine. Now I have to try to get this head on. Okay, it's good enough there. Okay. Okay, let's you stand there, Britt. Holy moly. We just got parts flying everywhere. Alright, so we're going to put this jacket on her here. And we are, once again, going to use those jacket arms here. Jacket arm. Okay, and then we're going to take her midsection apart there. Okay, now it looks like she's like falling in quicksand or something. Alright, and then... Alright, that snaps on. Oh, that looks cool. Okay. So then if we actually close her jacket up, and then what we can do is So we have the title. Maybe put the title over her shoulder here. Okay. Put the title over her shoulder. It looks good. I like that. And by the way, y'all, I have to say, it sounds like I'm breathing hard and stuff. This is not easy, this whole process here. It should be, but it's not. And then we have the AEW microphone that we can fit in her hand here. No, I guess we can't. Okay. Okay, so I guess what we're going to have to do is... We're going to have to put in the lockjaw hand, okay, because she doesn't come with a hand-holding microphone. Okay, good. She can hold the mic in that hand, and then we can put the title over her other shoulder, I suppose. Okay. And, yeah, so those are the two main looks. Alright, so I just wanted to give y'all one last look at the two looks that I went with. Now, remember, I did buy two Supremes to make these looks happen, and unfortunately, that's one of the negative things about the Supreme, is you have all these extra hands, you have an extra arm set, you have an extra lower body, extra heads, but you only have one torso, so there's a lot of wasted parts there. So, here with that first look I went with, was from that Rampage where she defeated Red Velvet here in Pittsburgh. I definitely like this look. It's iconic. It definitely turned out even better than I imagined it would. I love how that looks. And then here, her little promo attire. I think this is definitely a unique Britt. I love how it looks here with the title over the shoulder, holding the microphone. And I love these bottoms here. I think they're definitely sharp. And even the heels have that toe joint, which is always questionable because this figure is going to probably be the hardest figure to ever stand in the history of wrestling figures, but we shall see over time. But yeah, I'm just really proud of these two looks, and I just wanted to show y'all one last time. Now, before we move on here, I wanted to do a little comparison, and for purposes of this review, we're actually going to use this one to represent the Supreme, and we are going to compare it to the Unrivaled Series 10 Britt. So I just reviewed the Unrivaled Series 10 Britt on the channel. I just got it like last week, and I love it. You know, it was a lot better in person than I thought it was going to be. You know, the one negative thing about it is the title, the championship that comes with it, is huge, and I've covered that in this review. The championship's a little huge, but looking at the figures themselves, oh boy. So if you look at these two, I mean, like I said, I actually like the scan and the sculpt better on the Unrivaled 10. I think it looks a lot more like her. And yeah, the Supreme scan and sculpt looks weird, and the hair, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of that Supreme face sculpt and scan. Now, as far as the attire goes, you know, obviously the jacket pops out a lot more on the Supreme, you know, and it helps that we actually have jacket arms, so she has that full range of motion with the jacket on that we've never gotten before. And with the Unrivaled 10, her arms are stuck in the down motion. But I'm honestly okay with that. And here's what it comes down to me, okay, as to which one I think is better. So this Supreme Britt cost around, $45, and the Unrivaled was about 20-some, okay? So you could basically get two Unrivaled Brits for the price of one Supreme. And to me, what they should have done with the Supreme line is they should have put two different look Brits in the package, right? I know that sounds crazy, but if they're going to give all these accessories and all these hands and all these heads that aren't going to be used, that they're just going to be scraps, right, for collectors, like, why not just give us two completely different looks? Like, why not package a two-pack, right, a two-pack of these two, right, of these two Brit looks? And then we don't have all these wasted parts, but, like, looking behind me, just from having two Supreme Brits, I have wasted parts everywhere. So, yeah, considering the price point, I honestly, if you don't have a Britt Baker in your collection and you're looking for one, I'd go to Ringside, get this Unrivaled Series 10 Britt Baker, use discount code LJV and save 10% because I think it's the best Britt figure out there. I think it's even better than this Supreme. I mean, just something about the Supreme, it just has a lot of work to do here. Alright, so this part of the video, I usually give an overall score. But this is the first of its kind. This is the very first Unrivaled Supreme Collection figure that I've reviewed, so it's kind of hard to compare it to anything. So let's kind of talk about the pros and the cons of this figure, and maybe it'll help you decide whether you need to buy it or not. So the pros. This Britt is definitely a cool figure. It's a one-of-a-kind figure. We've had quite a few Brits. The fact that we get those jacket arms and you have full posability with the jacket arms and the jacket on, that's definitely cool. It's also cool that we get that lower half that you can simulate a promo attire Brit. That's awesome. And also that AEW Women's Championship is by far the best one we've gotten and the most accurate as far as size and detail. So those are the good. Now the bad. This is a $45-ish figure. I'm not sure how much it's going to be at retail, but probably around the $40 price range. And for that, you expect a great figure, and I honestly don't know if I would consider this a great figure. And I know that's harsh, and I've been known to be real lenient and give a lot of figures high scores that most people probably wouldn't. But to me, there's better Brits out there. And if there's a Supreme Britt Baker, it should be the best without a doubt. As far as the face sculpt, the face scan, the hair, the attire, everything about it should be the best. And I just quite frankly don't think we get that here. I mean, for the price of this Supreme figure, you could almost have a 2-pack with 2 Unrivaled Brits, right? One in her ring attire and one in her promo attire or entrance attire. And it would make more sense. But here with the Supreme figures, we only get one torso. We get 3 different heads. We get a lower half, alternate lower half. We get alternate jacket arms. We get tons of hands, which none of the hands are meant to hold the mic. That drives me nuts. But we only get one torso. So I'm looking over here. I opened 2 Supreme Brits today, and I'm looking over here at the package, and boy, I have a plethora of extra parts that'll never be used. And sure, I could switch out how I'm going to display her here and there from time to time if I want to, but I really like the 2 looks that I put her in here, and this is what I want to display on my Brit shelf. So literally all those parts over here that I'm looking at right now, they're all going to waste. And that to me is too bad. It's really too bad. I mean, if we would have gotten an extra torso, I could understand why we get all those extra parts. But the fact that we have one torso, we could really only truly make one Brit figure out of all this that we get. And for that to be that high of a price point, I just think it's kind of a waste. And I'm also really disappointed in some of the other details, like the paint on the upper top here. It was kind of sloppy, you know. It didn't look right. It looked like they didn't put enough coats of white on there. And the face scan and face sculpt really isn't the best. The hair's also super, super dark too. So I guess I just expected a lot. I mean, I think if you're an MOC collector, there's not a better women's wrestling figure out there for MOC purposes. But if you're looking for the best Britt Baker figure, I would honestly go with Unrivaled Series 10. It's half the price, and I think the scan is better. And I don't know. I just think for what you pay for these Supremes, you don't really get what equals what you pay for. That makes sense. And yeah, we have an increase in articulation, but it's not that important. The toe joint, I've never been a fan of. And the butterflies are definitely nice to add, but when you have her displayed in her jacket, there's no point to that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's the first woman released in the Supreme line, the first wave of Supreme, so we'll see if they improve over time. But I have to tell you, it's been a while since I've been this disappointed with a wrestling figure. I had high hopes, high expectations, and to me, those expectations were not met here. And honestly, a lot of people are probably thinking this will be up for Figure of the Year. If I had a vote in it, this wouldn't even be in the top 3. You know what I mean? It wouldn't. So, yeah, my ranting is done. It's definitely a cool figure, but it could definitely be a lot better, and it could come with a lot more usable things for the price point. So, like I said, if you're looking for a Brit, I would definitely go out and get Unrivaled Series 10 over this one. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For our first look at all future women's wrestling figures, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Also, make sure to like the video, hit that thumbs up to help the video out. Head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use coupon code LJV to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Also, head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/LumberJillville to check out the official merch. Now, that being said, stay tuned. There's a lot of really exciting content coming out. I hope you all have a great night.